Another day of trading is over at the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow rose slightly after a three-day slide. It closed the day up around 60 points.
The tech-heavy NASDAQ and S&P 500 saw slight gains as well. They are up by a little less than half a percentage point. Brent Wilsey joins us now. He is the president of Wilsey Asset Management. Brent, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. So what was driving the markets today?
Well, thank you for having me. And what's driving the markets is concern about inflation and rising interest rates. We saw the 10-year Treasury bump up to about 3.1%, which causes concern about going forward. Will rates continue to rise? And on your companies, your growth companies like your Apples and your Amazons, they're growth companies. They do not do well with rising interest rates, and they account for a big part of the market. So that's a concern, is waiting for Friday. Will rates continue to rise? If they do, that could be a difficult time for the market.
Well, the markets are waiting for Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to speak at an economic policy conference in Jackson Hole on Friday. Many anticipate that he could shed some light on where he stands when it comes to rate hikes and inflation. What are you hoping he says?
I'm pretty sure he's going to raise rates probably at least a half to 3/4 a point, because we have seen some of a pullback in inflation. We're around 9%. We're looking at 8%. We do believe at our firm here that by the end of the year, we'll be around 5 or 6%, which sounds pretty good. But the Fed's target's more like 2 to 3%. So while we're getting some positive news, that is helpful, but the Fed needs to keep raising rates so we don't reverse around and go back up again. One positive I'm seeing is that we're seeing a lot more reduction in commodity prices, like corn is down, soybeans, wheat is down. So that's going to help as it passes through to the consumer. Also, I saw that meat production is increasing, which brought down a little bit the price of like prime rib at the grocery stores and beef in general. So there's some positive things. If we can keep the supply increasing and demand stays the same, that will bring prices down. But we got to watch this closely, because if not, we'll see a turnaround in inflation, and the rates will continue to rise quicker than we would like.
On another topic, President Biden announced that he plans to cancel billions of dollars in student loan debt for Americans nationwide. Now, some critics say that will make inflation much worse, while others suggest that the impact on inflation will be minimal. What's your take on this, Brent?
Well, the basic theory is inflation is caused by too much money chasing too few goods. So if we can't increase our supply of goods, and we have more money coming in on supply, you got more money chasing those goods, it will cause inflation. I think the number's around $300 billion coming in the economy on top of everything else that's happening. That's not a good thing. I have more money coming in the economy. We don't want that now, because people will spend it and they'll drive the price of goods back up again. That's how we got this in the first place, by all this free money from the government, a lot of money chasing too few goods.
All right. Brent Wilsey, thank you for joining.
You're welcome.